Hi, I'm Allison Arngrim, and it's the Allison Arngrim Show. I'm Allison Arngrim, although some of you may remember me as Evil Nellie Olson. But tonight, I'm Allison Arngrim, and this is the Allison Arngrim Show. And here on the Allison Arngrim Show, we talk about things that make us feel good. The movies and the television shows that made us feel good, and the people who made them, and people who are doing things now to make the world a better and more interesting place. I'm so excited. Okay, I talked about this afternoon on my Facebook Live, so you know. I have on, it's backwards, you can't see it. Hawkins. Yes, I'm a giant nerd. Yes, I have on my Hawkins shirt from Stranger Things. I have seen all four seasons of Stranger Things. Yes, I saw the last two episodes. I know some of you have not seen the last two episodes. We will try not to do brutal spoiler alerts. We will restrain ourselves, and we don't have this sneaky stuff about season 5. But I am so excited because yes, so Stranger Things. You get all the poor little children with the numbers tattooed on their wrist. Yes, number 10. Number 10. Yes, Christian Ganiere. I'm going to mess it up every time. Christian Ganiere, who is now huge. He is all over social media. He's done so much work since he was a very tiny, tiny person and is an incredible actor. And now he's just exploded because he's number 10 on Stranger Things. Yes, I have with me, indeed, Christian Ganiere. Hi!
Hi.
I'm very excited. I love Stranger Things, and you're even wearing the camp shirt from the show. So we're in our full nerd gear here. It's a great show to be on. If I were your age and I was on something like Stranger Things, I would be hugely excited. Is the show as much fun to do as it is to watch?
It really is to be behind the scenes. It's like so cool, especially since I was a fan before I went on the show. It was so cool that I get to watch it literally live and get to be a part of it. It was so exciting.
Fantastic. Now, you shaved your head for the part. I am always impressed when an actor shaves their head because that's just brutal. You said you had to shave your head twice in order to do this?
Yes, I had to shave it twice because the first time we shaved it and then we shot most of the scenes, but then they had to fly me back out to California where I live. And then they said, "Oh yeah, we'll have you come back in like a month, shoot more scenes." But then a week goes by and they're like, "Hey, yeah, we need you to fly out tomorrow." They said at like 11 p.m. They were like, "Yeah, we need you to fly out tomorrow. So you need to pack your bags and fly back out." So I had to go, and my hair had grown a bunch more, so they had to shave it again. And so yeah, that was crazy.
Now, was that brutal? How did you feel about that? Because it's hard for some people. Shaving your head is kind of traumatic. You seem to have recovered, but how did you feel about actually having to shave your head and be bald for such a period of time?
Yeah, at first I was a little nervous because I'd never had my hair shorter than like down to here. But the one to actually be freaking out was my mom. My mom was like going crazy, and I was like, "Mom, it's okay. It's my hair. It's going to be okay." But she was freaking out a bunch, so I had to calm her down. But yeah, it was a fun new experience, and I liked it to give me a bunch of styles and see what fits.
Nice. And I love that the mom is the one who's like freaking out over your fabulous hair. You do have fabulous hair because you've been working since you were an absolute toddler. Do you know, how old were you when you had your first job?
I believe I was 1.5, and I know it's a little embarrassing, and I don't like to tell a bunch of people and put it out there, but my first ever role was in a diaper commercial.
No, yeah. They will haunt you with that. As you become more famous, they will haul that one out and like show it constantly.
I know.
Clearly, that will be the one. But yeah, so you started, and I've seen the pictures of you into the footage as a very young actor, and you did gorgeous long blonde hair. So yeah, I can see your mother probably had a cow where you're getting your head shaved. It's hysterical. But the stuff that you do in this and Stranger Things, I mean, I have a couple friends who said, you know, I can't even watch it. It's stressful. These poor children, the violence gets these kids. The stuff that you go through in this role is incredible. Just even the thing where they put that terrible thing on your head while they test your psychic abilities. How was that made? Because I mean, from here, of course, it looks excruciatingly painful, and I understand there's props, but how did they do this exactly?
Well, it was pretty crazy. I mean, I'll tell you this right now. Just because I'm an actor on the show doesn't mean it wasn't scary.
Yeah.
During that scene that I did, the very first scene, they had an audio of playing of like people screaming, and it was scary. Like I won't lie, it scared me. It was like terrifying the screams that I heard, and I was like, yeah, this is really really scary. So going through that is not only just acting, some of it was like real fear because it was pretty spooky going on set and seeing all the dead people everywhere.
And even when you know it's not real, I mean, that much blood all over the room. I mean, there's no way that you're not going to be terrified. It's
Yeah, it was pretty scary. And I mean, I watch horror movies. I love horror movies, and it was spooky for me.
it's an intense show. And I mean, that's the thing. I have to think for anyone being an adult or young person that it's so intense and the stuff you go through because it is an extraordinarily violent scene. And even before the heavy duty violence starts, just the stuff of being in the lab and these kids with shaved heads and hospital gowns. And like I said, they putting things on as if they were probing your brain and having you do all this. How stressful were those scenes? I mean, you had, of course, Matthew Modine, who was being very nice to you, but how stressful were these scenes of all of this creepy lab experiment weirdness?
Um, it was freaky. I mean, you're in a laboratory in the middle of the nowhere, and you have a bunch of electronics hooked up to you. Like it was definitely freaky, and so everything rushing through my mind kind of helped me perform in how like crazy and weird it was.
Because it definitely really worked. Now, I love the part where communicating with the magic eight balls, like eight ball. Um, in his character, why does he do that? Explain to us how this character uses his magic eight ball to communicate.
Um, it's because he's emotionally connected. As you can see, all the children are playing with one thing, and I think they all have their one favorite toy in the rainbow room, and mine was the magic 8 ball, and so I not only helped me practice my powers with it, but also I have emotional connection with it, so that's why I use it.
And that's the thing that's fascinating that in that lab scene with the Modine, did you know who all of these people were? I mean, obviously, for people my age were going, look, it's Winona Ryder, look, it's Matthew Modine. Did you have any sense of who these people were, who were these hot stars in the 80s, now in the parental adult roles, who they were before you started this?
I did not. I was very surprised when I looked back and I actually went back and watched a bunch of their work, and I was like, oh, they've done a lot of stuff. This wasn't their first work, and I was like, wow, this is very impressive. So that is my bad that I have not seen.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't expect it, but yeah, but it's fascinating. It's obviously for the people my age, it's fascinating. We see these people who were the young teen stars of the 1980s, and now they've in this show about the 80s, and they're being the older people, and it's a lovely touch. It's a great thing that they've done in the series that makes the whole thing, as I said, such an 80s flashback for those of us who actually were in the 80s. But yeah, the scenes are now. Did you have after effects? I mean, as I said, it was disturbing, and you're so emotionally present in the scene. You're so good. You're really there while you're doing this stuff that, as we know, yes, it's not real, but those of us at home are being absolutely frightened out of our wits. Did you have any trouble, like, sleeping that night or feeling weird the next day? How did you manage this?
Um, I was a little freaked out. I think I slept fine, but the night before I just kept on reading my lines and doing it over and over, just because I just wanted to make sure that I had it down. Even though I knew I had it down, I was a little stressed because of how big the show is, and I didn't want to mess up. But in the end, I calmed myself down and I did it, and I think it was good.
It clearly was. I mean, intensity of that scene. Now, of course, being on Stranger Things, it's land of crazy fan rumors. Um, the things that people come up with, and you're very big on social media now, so there's all the stuff on the Twitter and Instagram and everything. I saw one that I thought was great. That since we find out that, spoiler alerts, we find out that some characters did in fact grow up to be other characters. Like, oh, that is really in fact the kid. So a rumor got started that number 10 didn't die but grew up to be Eddie. I don't think that happened. What do you think of this fan theory?
I think it's very interesting. I've seen that a couple of times, and I was like, wait, wait, am I? Even I was wondering. I was like, dude, that would be so cool. I love Eddie. If I grew
Right,
up to be him, that would be awesome. I mean, I support that theory. I want that to become true.
excellent. Yes. Well, I start looking at your picture and his picture, going, could it be that this character grows up to be the Eddie character? Okay, it's Stranger Things. I mean, there's weirder plot lines in that show. It's not outside the realm of possibility.
I mean, you aren't wrong. Yeah, but I definitely love the idea of that. I would totally love to do that.
That's good. That's hilarious. Okay, so do you have a favorite character? I mean, that's just, there's so many plot lines and fabulous people in the show. Would you say, do you have a favorite character in Stranger Things?
Yeah, I definitely love 11, but I think I think every season they add a new amazing character. Like, at first, no, I don't think anybody liked Steve at first, but now everybody loves Steve. He's really grown up, and we all like to see how he's become like the babysitter. And then I love to go Robin
Yeah. Oh,
um I now think I love Eddie the most. I mean, he's so quirky and fun and cool. I just love his
your
personality.
heart just kind of goes out to Eddie. You do. You just go, oh, Eddie. But yeah, exactly. Steve, he was such a jerk in like the first season. It's like, ugh. And yeah, and that's what I also, why it's a great show. I think everybody loves is that characters change and characters mature and characters who start at, well, this is the terrible person, and we're not going to like turn out to be the hero, and the frightened people become brave. It's kind of really fun, and a lot of people who die come back to life. So awesome. So there's always hope. There's always hope, because strangely you could be a ghost or something. We don't know. You've done so much. Okay, the Subaru commercial totally kills it. How old are you in the Subaru commercial? Are you 5?
Yes, I was 5.
You are 5. Because at one point you go, I'm 5. Um, it's just brilliant. I'm watching that, and I mean, I started with my Screen Actors Guild card. Yes, I started when I was 5. Goes back. Said member since 1967. So that kind of brilliance in watching it, it's so funny. But what you're doing is really great, because obviously they're very, very, very young kid actors sometimes can't deal with like the whole plot of what is happening. Just say, okay, we're just going to get you these scene line. But you're clearly getting the joke. You're getting the joke and you're playing the comedy, which is not something you always see people doing at 5.
Yeah, I was introduced to it from a very young age, so I think I got the feel of it, and I got to understand it really well. And my parents were very good at explaining it to me so that I understood. And I used to watch a ton of TV, so that also helped as well. So I think I got onto it pretty well from a young age. I mean, I I won't lie, in the diaper commercial, I don't think I did the best acting, but but I think I got the hang of it and progressed until where I am now.
I just have visions of you sitting there like watching the diaper commercial. I just totally held back at that moment. I should have. It's so strange when we start that young. It just is having worked that young. Um, but you're really good. I'm looking at your young stuff. How's he doing it now? Here's the crazy thing: your entire family is in show business. I know because I had your parents on this show relatively recently. It seems they were talking about their very young children, and then it seems as if I turn around and you're on Stranger Things, and I'm going, well, that went well. They seem. I interviewed them. They seem nice. They seem like nice people. It seems to be working in that, in having them in show business and having him direct and her write and do all these projects together, that's at least giving you some frame of reference for what is actually happening in show business. And I know that's one of the things, me and my old ex-child star friends, we talk about that. Some of us had a difficult time adjusting to, because people had parents who had absolutely no idea how the business worked or anything, and it was a real shock. It was just kind of a shock to the whole family, the whole process of being in show business. But this, you seem to be in a good position that at least your parents could say, okay, here's what's going on. So it seems to be working.
Yeah, that definitely helped a lot because my parents understood how it worked, and so they would teach me the rules, like not to eat every single last thing on the crafty table and stuff like that. So that way I understood how it would work. And yeah, I think that definitely helped me a lot. And I never understood why I couldn't, but I just knew I could.
And
But
then
yeah,
when you're older and you see someone, yeah, I just don't want to be that guy. It's the temptation is there. I remember when I was very small, it was like, no, really, because I can't eat it. No, don't eat it all. Um, but that's the thing. And the craft service tables are much better. When I was young, it was pretty much donuts and coffee. You're lucky if you got anything else. But yeah, learning the rules. I mean, I've been on sets where people brought Tupperware, like took some of the lunch home. But my parents in show business used to call that eating like an actor. And if we were somewhere where people don't eat like an actor, which is leave some food for others.
yeah, I definitely tried to get as much as I could, but at the end of the day, they would always find it and be like, "Oh, you gotta put it back." So,
Take off. But that's cool because and you were on set with your parents when they were working with on other things. Did you do that as well?
yeah, we just recently worked on two movies together, Rekindling Christmas and No More Goodbyes. So that was super fun working alongside with my mother and my father.
So nice to have that. And that's the thing. It's great that you coming in prepared, because that is a thing for most child actors. It's like, wait, I'm suddenly on a soundstage with a bunch of strangers and have to deliver and do this. And for a lot of people, it's a terrible shock because it can be traumatic. But you seem very relaxed. I've seen, as I said, I'm flipping through footage, seeing you on the red carpet and everything. You seem to be taking this well and be fairly relaxed. Is this going okay?
Yeah, I started from a young age. So when you're young, you always have like a ton of confidence. So I think that just played out, and I grew up with it so much that I've just gotten used to it, and that confidence has never gone away.
Nice. How old are you now?
I'm 13, turning 14 in September.
Turning 14 December. But yes, hang on to that confidence. There are people, especially as you get older, who will try to take that away from you. Don't let them go with the confidence thing. And of course, you have to deal with social media now. And this is a thing that, like Melissa Gilbert and I and other Charles, we talked about that we feel very lucky that when we were teenagers and famous, we did not have social media, so that we could not be suddenly seen on TMZ and Twitter and on Instagram. But you seem to be doing quite well with your social media. I've been enjoying your YouTube channel. I just recently subscribed to your YouTube channel. You seem to have that under control. Do you have people helping you with that? Because I just know from what I do, it's a daunting task managing all these accounts.
Yes, I am blessed with amazing parents, and they always help me with everything. So I've just been helped out a lot, and that's how I got here today.
And you seem to be having a decent attitude because, as I said, for teenage social media, there's so much out there. It's, as we used to say in the beginning, don't read the comments. There are people who are terrible out there, and it can be threatening, it can be frightening, especially for a young person. Um, how do you handle negativity that may come at you via social media nowadays?
Um, I've gotten some negativity, but honestly, I've gotten so much love that it just cancels it out. And people have been so amazing and so kind. So I just haven't thought about it. And I really just love how amazing people have been to me.
And I think that's I've done very well. I mean, I look at my Facebook and people seem very happy on my Facebook, and they're even pretty happy on my Twitter, and they're definitely happy on my Instagram. Or Instagram is sort of a happy place. Things get like rough on some of the other, but Instagram's always generally like there's cats. It's a good place. And I've done pretty well. I've been surprised at how positive the feedback I've gotten and stuff. So it is possible to be on social media and not have it just be a giant, like, hailstorm of hatred. It occasionally happens. What kind of roles now do you like? You've done so many roles, but child roles. You're just now. I mean, you were still seemingly young, much younger, even on Stranger Things. You're still relatively young. What kind of roles do you see yourself moving into now as a teenager?
Um, I don't know. I like more of dramatic roles. As I was a kid, I loved comedy because I was always pulling pranks or joking around. But as I grew up, I started to like more dramatic roles, and I think I will continue with that and see how it goes.
Which is a good attitude to have. So, because now I understand you do have something coming up, and is there villainy involved?
Yes, this fall I will be starring in a horror movie, which I am the villain.
Yes, yes.
That I'm very excited for.
Speaking as someone who lot of villainy, I do enjoy the villain roles. I do kind of find them more fun than the nice people. Have you primarily been a nice person? I mean, I guess 10 had his sort of dark side, but would you say you've generally played nice children?
Yes, I'm more of the nicer roles. I've been in horror before, which I was more of a monster, not really the villain. So it's exciting to see more of the villain role.
Absolutely fascinating. Now, as you approach these roles, I said you were so dedicated in Stranger Things, by even talking about how scary these scenes are, and there's blood and there's violence, and your focus was being prepared enough for the scene. You're like, well, I'm going to make sure I get my lines down, so if it gets freaky, I don't forget anything. How do you maintain that concentration, that dedication through all of these things you've done?
I've always been very focused, and especially on set. And I just say all my coworkers were so focused, it really helped me and motivated me to see how focused they were for the craft. And so it helped me focus more. And also, I'm on Stranger Things. It's one of the biggest shows. I mean, I gotta do a good job or else what?
Right? Like no pressure at all. That's true. I think that'd be like, I'm on Stranger Things. What else am I going to focus on but this, right? What else is there?
Yeah, so that was very big for me, and especially since I was a fan, I was like so focused on it, and I was like, I'm on Stranger Things. I mean, I was there for like what 3 months, and all of those 3 months, I was like, I I wake up, I'd be like, I don't want to get up today. Wait, oh my gosh, I'm in Stranger Things. Every day I would do that, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I play number 10. This is unbelievable. So that was very exciting. That helped me a lot.
And I think that's an important thing for actors to remember, that when you are lucky enough to have a job and something like that, that to embrace it with that kind of joy. I mean, that's the thing. Absolutely, as an actor, it's times like I'm exhausted, but we're making what? Where it's exciting. You have a good role, and I think that more people. I mean, when I think of how easy it is for people to get jaded and go, oh, I have to go make another movie. When it's like, what? I'm in Stranger Things. Yeah, this is the correct attitude to have. This is how you get through this. So, what sort of advice would you have for like other young people starting out in the business? Because as I said, I'm an old ex-child star, and I think things are much better now for child actors than they were in my day. As I said, except for that social media, which still scares me. But what advice would you have for someone your age, or heaven forbid, younger, who was considering a career in entertainment?
You definitely want to do what you love. So if you love it and you enjoy it and you're good at it, you definitely want to pursue that. And just make sure you're doing what you love and you want to pursue that and just enjoy it.
And that's the thing, is that people say, well, you don't necessarily want to, push a kid into the business, but then if it's something they love, if they, and you have that, I mean, looking at the stuff you did when you're 5, if you have that quirk in your personality, that bent towards it, then yeah, it's like, oops, you have an actor on your hands. What do you do? Uh, Erin Murphy, who was on, she was Tabitha in Bewitched when she was a child. We talked about that. And we said some people have a personality that is designed for this, and some people do not. Some people that's not their thing, and you can tell early on because she had a twin sister, and her twin sister was like, nope, nope, don't actually like this, and so it became really obvious, and so she went with it. So you have this personality, your attitude and your reaction to things. I think you're going to be doing this for a very long time. Do you see yourself as continuing only as an actor? Do you think you might direct, like your other family members here?
Yeah, I definitely want to pursue acting. I've never looked forward towards directing, but I think as I get older, I'd look at directing and see if I like it or not.
There's time, obviously. Now, with your education being all of 13, uh, are you pursuing high school in like a homeschooling environment? You're enrolled in a school. Are you planning to go to college?
Um, I am going to be going into high school next year, I believe. I was held back a year because my birthday is so late in the year. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for high school, but we'll figure that out. I think I'm gonna do an online high school because I'm homeschooled, and I'm homeschooled for a charter school, so we'll see.
And do you think for university, do you have any plans for college or
I
what you're
don't.
doing when you're 18?
I don't because that's so far ahead, but the closer I get to it, I'll start looking more into it.
Well, and then things happen. Absolutely. I mean, I knew a lot of child actors who turned 18 and said, well, I'm going to go to college. But I was working so much when I turned 18. I was like, well, not going this year. And so I wound up not going to university. And then I later went to a local college and went, well, I never took that class. I'll go look at that. And so I've trained in all sorts of different things. But yeah, when it hit the time, like, okay, now's the time to decide, go to college. I was on Little House. I was working continuously. I was like, well, nope, not doing that. So it works out. You see what happens, and you may decide to take something up. Or like, well, I hadn't thought about studying that, but yeah, I'll go and do this. But it depends on exactly. You could be on a series with the day you turn 18, or have a back-to-back movie setup going. So we never know. It's just fascinating to talk to because I said you're so like self-possessed at 13, which I don't think even I was, and I've been working since I was 5. Uh, you are going to be at Comic Con. I'm insanely jealous. Tell us about Comic Con. Have you been before?
Yeah, I've been going for a very long time. I actually started going when I was about like 6, and when I went, everybody was like, "Oh, that's the kid from the commercial we've been seeing everywhere." So, yeah, that was definitely awesome. We usually cosplay. This year, I think I'm gonna go as 10 because I
It's
love it.
I had your parents on. It was like, and here's pictures of us in costume. Let's all go and go cosplay. Except now, what I'm 10.
Yeah, so um I was thinking, I was like, oh, I could go as this character. Then I was in Stranger Things. I was like, no, I'm going as 10. Yeah, that's what I'm going as now. So,
It's just cool.
yeah,
Will you shave your head? Will you shave your head again for this?
I don't know. I was thinking about it. I'm feeling a little tempted.
Well, your hair clearly grows very quickly. It'll grow back. You're young. Your hair will grow fast. You could totally shave it again. This will be interesting to see what happens at Comic Con this year because I mean the fact that you've already been recognizable as a small child is amazing. But I'm thinking this July because it's what July 21st. It's you're going to get mobbed. I'm thinking it's going to be absolutely bananas at Comic Con.
Yeah, I'm doing signings there, so it'll be super exciting to get to see all the fans, and I'm just excited for what's gonna happen. We'll walk around, and then I'll go to a panel. I'm gonna be on a panel with my parents
Cool.
and my fellow co-star number 2.
Oh,
So yeah, that'll be exciting to get to see him again.
Now I just did the Hollywood show with a whole bunch of people from Little House on the Prairie, and we were mobbed. We were mobbed because we Melissa Gilbert was there, and then we had actually had Linwood Boomer, who like never comes to the, and he was there part of the day, and it was pandemonium. Now we're lucky we have very friendly fans, so we didn't have any trouble with them, but it was a lot of people, and the difference between when you go to an autograph show and you're not known, and you go to an autograph show and you're sort of known, you go to an autograph show and you're huge that week. It's a difference. I think you're gonna be shocked at the number of people going to come to your table.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how many people are going to show up and get to interact with
Well, then this will be fun. Now, who do you look forward to seeing when you go to something like a Comic Con? Who do you want to meet?
Man, I want to meet uh, probably like Keanu Reeves. I mean, I've wanted to be in John Wick 4 for like forever. I mean, I love this series and just loved his work forever. So probably like Keanu Reeves.
And you have the possibility that Keanu Reeves sits around and says, "I really want to meet 10 from Stranger Things." So, there's there's
If
there's that.
he said that, I would freak out. I think I'd have a heart attack.
And see, but that's crazy thing. See, I've had like weird stuff happen. We were just talking about this the other night. That some of us from Little House have gone, "Oh wow, I'm going to meet this big celebrity," and they're like, "Oh, it's you." I mean, I met Bjorn from ABBA, and he was like, "Oh, I watched you in my hotel room this morning," and he was a Little House fan, and we're just talking about all of us meeting celebrities, and then of course they know our show, and it's really weird when famous people meet each other because you never know who's watching whose show, and it often is quite exciting. You've also been doing some charity work. I'm seeing you actually got what, a humanitarian award. You're only 13. What is this award that you received from President Obama, and how old were you when you got this?
Yes, I received that back in 2014. So I was very young. I was like 8.
You were 8. You were 8. Got a humanitarian award.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I think I was 8. That was a very long time ago. But yeah, I've just always loved helping out the community and um, doing charity work because you make someone else smile, it makes you smile.
And I always like the fact that when we're lucky enough to be on TV or movie and we have some claim to fame, it gives you an opportunity. It's like, well, okay, you're on TV, then people know who you are, and you have more chance to do the PSAs and raise money for things and go to charity events, and you can say, oh, I'm appearing at such and such, and you can help more people. And I've enjoyed that enormously in my life. So now, I mean, think what you can do. Good heavens.
Yeah, I definitely will take advantage of that and would love to use my career to help others.
Well, I mean, it just said you were helping kids from the inner city with after school programs like See Me Learn. If you could be involved in stuff like that at 8, I mean, what will you do at 14?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll pick up some things and have things come up, and I'm just excited for what's ahead in the future.
Yeah, I like this. You're just, going with the flow because, seriously, what else can you do? That's a very good attitude to have. I think you may have gotten that from the folks. A lot of people in show business don't realize that there's so many changes and so many possibilities, and crazy, unpredictable things happen. I mean, could you have predicted that you would have wound up on Stranger Things?
Um, I I think I did um back like I don't know, like 6 years ago. I was on an interview and someone asked me. They were like, "Is there anything? We've watched your hair grow, and we know you don't cut your hair. Is there anything you'd shave your hair for?" And I was like, "There's two things. One, Stranger Things, or the other one would be a Marvel movie or a Marvel TV show." And
Fair.
later on, eventually, I end up in Stranger Things. So I think I did predict it actually.
And with your head shaved. I mean, you couldn't have gotten a role on Stranger Things of someone who didn't shave their head.
Yeah, it can't be a coincidence at this point.
Okay, so now my next question is, when is the Marvel movie and which one?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I mean,
Oh,
what if I already
spoiler,
signed an NDA?
spoiler alert. So this is incredible. No, okay, so what's next? We have a horror movie coming up. You are the villain. Are you allowed to say the title yet?
Um, I I think it's The Awakening.
The Witch? Ooh.
The Awakening.
Awakening. Okay, that sounds creepy. Okay, good. Sounds like almost Stranger Things episode. Okay, so a villain in that. Good, good. We have Comic Con. What else do you have?
Trying to think. I think that's all. I know I have a couple more movies that my mother is writing currently, so we'll
That's
see.
what your mother writes some amazing stuff. Because when I had them on, she was talking about really interesting, like weird sci-fi and horror and really interesting stuff that she wrote.
Yeah, she's an amazing writer. She writes a ton. I mean, she has a million ideas and can only get a few out at a time. So I'm just lucky to have her be writing for me, and we'll see how those go.
Well, because yeah, she was writing different genres of books. It was like romance novels about penguins. I mean, it was just there was one thing and another thing, and it was all these different things at the same time. So that's got to be fun. And then you're having your dad direct. So if do they automatically? Is it like automatic? Like okay, we got a deal. We're making this next project, and you're in it, or do they ever say, "Well, we're shooting this, but yeah, nothing for you, man."
My mom has always been like, "You're going to be in, no matter what." She fits me in any place. I mean, I could be a role here, a role there. I mean, she can just always fit one for me. And if not, then she writes one.
Okay, that's a good mother.
Yeah. So I'm very lucky to have her.
Now, is your dad ever though said, "I'm directing this," and I'm just saying, "No, I'm not putting you in
Uh, I don't know. Do you want that to happen?
it." No, I mean it's like I was like they're support obviously, duh, they're supportive, but it's like how weird is that? Where you're all kind of living in the same house and you're working on all these different projects. Like I don't. Oh man, there's nothing like for you in this. I don't know. We gotta like say there's a guy next door. No, he's too old. What they did? They like work you in or what?
Uh, my mother thinks of us, and finds any way she can to put us in. So if we have any chance of being in there, she helps us get in.
Good,
And
good.
yeah, my mother's always been like that.
Now, how have your parents reacted to the Stranger Things phenomenon? Because when I interviewed them, we looked at some of the movies they were doing. They're doing very nice movies, like I said, rekindling Christmas. A lot of very like really pleasant, like Hallmark, Lifetime, good stuff. And here's Stranger Things, which certainly has good values of friendship and bravery and standing up for people, but is also really terrifying and there's bloodshed. Did they have any issues with that?
Well, actually, my mom was just writing a horror movie, so they were pretty okay with it. Though my mom is like terrified of thinking of me dying in a TV show or a movie. So
Well, of course. I mean, that scene was really scary because I mean, I've talked to people like going, "Yeah, I love this. I couldn't look because it is very frightening." So yes, your mom. Well, your mom didn't want your head shaved. I mean, she's hysterical over your hair. Can't imagine what she thinks if somebody's going to hurt you on the TV.
yeah, um, that reminds me of this one time there. I was on Grey's Anatomy, and they were doing a heart surgery, and they had to do chest compressions.
Oh,
But
I know. Awful.
yeah, but they were like very hard chest compressions, so they had to get a dummy of me, but they couldn't just get any dummy. So they did a mold of my face and chest, and they made
Oh,
a dummy by hand, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so realistic." And it really was. It was like a direct identical dummy.
it
And we took a
really well
picture
because
of
they
it.
did a mold fish, so it really looked like you. It was
Yeah,
like, oh, there I
it
am. There I
really
am on
did.
the
I
spot.
looked at it, and even I was freaked out. I was like, "Whoa, what the heck's going on? This looks exactly like me." And even that was freaking my mom out. I don't blame her. That was freaking me out. Like the whole day felt weird. I was like, what is that? What the heck? So,
That would do it. I mean, we had back in the Little House days. I had a stunt woman who had to do some of my stunts, going down hills in wheelchairs and crashing into things. And she was, I don't know, 35 or something, but she was in the cute little dress and the little curls and the wig and smoking a cigarette, as people did in the 1970s constantly. And I was sitting over under a tree reading a magazine, and some of the adults and the other stage moms saw her coming down the hill smoking a cigarette, and they thought it was me and had absolute fits. We're like, going, Allison, that she's smoking. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm drinking an orange juice. I'm totally, no, I'm not. But yes, it's always fun to see like the mock up of you. That's really good. But yeah, that would be freakish. Now, when they did the mold, did you ever have to do the thing where they put like the plaster or the rubber thing like over your face and you have to like let it set? Did they have to do that thing to you?
oh, it was
That's it.
weird. It was weird. They had to do that, and they had to put straws in my nose. And after they did my full face, they had to do my chest down to my torso. And I mean, I don't want to be rude, but one and done. I don't think I'd do that again. That was
Yeah, that would freak me out. I mean, I'm bad at like the dentist when they have to take impressions. And I have friends who've done that where they've had to do the mold pit and they had the straws up their nose. And I'm like, la, 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 la. No, 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 no. I don't think I would last 5 minutes. That would do me in. I would shave my head before I think I would be able to sit still for the plaster mold. Pretty much do me in.
yeah. It was very uncomfortable, and it was so warm, and then it turned cold, and then it was
Ew.
yeah. It was freaky.
Well, yeah, you mentioned Trinkle. This is a weird thing. So when I'm watching like the lab scenes, you poor kids running around your little hospital against bare feet, I keep thinking, are you cold? I mean, I know the set part it's probably warm there. It looks like it's freezing because the lab in the basement and everyone's in their bare feet in these little tiny little shifts of little nothing hospital gowns, and there's little shaved heads, and you're all around going, it looks cold. It looks like it's absolutely freezing in there. Were you cold?
Um, we were in the we were in the middle of nowhere, Atlanta, Georgia, and I think it started snowing one of the days, but we were in a giant warehouse. I'm talking like this thing was massive. There were at least three warehouses connected together, and everything was concrete. And so yes, it was cold. It was so cold. But they gave us these giant jackets to use not only to cover up our wardrobe because they didn't want paparazzi taking pictures of the wardrobe and then giving
and,
spoilers.
and and a bunch of little children having to run around in hospital gowns all day. It's cruel.
Yeah,
So they gave you coats.
yeah. So it was a double one.
Oh,
But our trailers were very warm, and the jackets were very warm, so we were good.
so it
But
sounds like they were decent to you on the set, because I mean, and that's a question, like I said, all old child actors ask, and then of course seeing adults, seeing the children, and all the terrible things that happened to you on the show. Go, were they at least good to you on the set? Were they good to you on the set?
yes, they were very good to us. I mean, they had like five-star chefs cook for us every day. It was like crazy. But yes, they were. They were very kind. They were very patient, especially since there were a bunch of very little kids. Like some of them were like 7,
There's
6.
really some of those kids with the shaved heads were tiny.
Yes, they were. They were very young, and they were very patient and nice. So I just loved everyone on the set. They were very good.
Nice, nice. Well, thank heavens, because this will help everyone sleep at night and watch all those terrifying scenes. Those poor kids. Like, no, they gave them coats. It's okay. They fed them. So you were fed. You had school. You had school on the set.
Yes.
They okay.
We did 3 hours of school, and then you have to do 3 hours. But if
Right?
you do 2 hours, then the next day you have to do 4 hours. So you can bank hours and then use them the next day if you don't work.
The old, I'm still banking hours. I remember that one. That was the one through us. And some said, can we bank? Can we bank a little? And sometimes they used to get away with murder, like just like bank a bunch and then not have school for 3 days. I think they won't let you do that anymore. I think they'll let you bank like an hour. It's like, which is probably better. So this is good. So you were treated humanely. You did go to school. They did give you warm coats and they fed you well. So this will make us all feel better, at least watching these scenes. Your just amazing that you're calm, that you're taking this all in stride, that you know that anything can happen in show business. So you're just saying, well, next, I don't know, the Marvel movie, who knows? I'm very pleased for you. As I said, love the show, thrilled for you and all you're doing. And then when I go back and I look at the Subaru commercial, I go, it's really worked out. A lot of kids who are fantastic when they're 5 and have great careers at 5 and 6. I actually got a speech about possibly being washed up when I was 11 years old. I'd worked a lot from 6 to 10. I wasn't working that much. My dad was managing me. He said, yeah, you might not work again until you're 18. You might not work. And then I got Little House like 6 months later. So there you are. But, that's the thing. So it's really great to see someone who was working away at 5, and now here you are turning 14 and you're in Stranger Things and going to Comic-Con. So it's like, yes, very, very happy for you. Where can people find you? As I said, I have found the YouTube channel and all of the other fabulous stuff on there. Where do we look for you?
You can go to christianganiere.com, and that will lead you to all my social media. And it also has a couple of interviews and pictures of me. So christianganiere.com.
And then obviously, so you're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Are you on TikTok?
Yes.
Of course you're on TikTok. Even I'm on TikTok. I'm 60 years old. I'm on TikTok. So yeah, so you're on TikTok. Is there anything else you're on that I
Yeah, so that's where you can find me.
So you're on absolutely everything. You're easy to find. Excellent, excellent. So we have to wait for the horror movie. Anyone out there who has not got tickets to Comic-Con in San Diego, July 21st, hello, he's going to be there. Who else from Stranger Things is going to be there? What you said?
Number 2.
Number two will be there. Anyone else?
As far as I know, no.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, I did 2 and 10, so this should be good. How old is number 2?
I believe his character is 17, but he's 24.
Okay. So they did have some older folks playing teens in the room and everything. But you were
the lower the numbers get, the older they get, and then the higher the numbers get, the younger they get. If that makes sense.
Okay, well that makes sense. So now, how old were you when you shot it?
I was 12.
12. Okay, see, there you go. Very good. A good year to start a series is at 12. That I personally think there you are. So please, your parents must be thrilled and relieved that you're turning out to be a lovely and dedicated actor, and that you're worried about things like focusing on your work and shaving your head. I'm very impressed.
Yes, I definitely love how focused I can be, and that I have the opportunity to be on Stranger Things.
Well, we are thrilled for you. I'm so happy for you. Say hi to your folks. I think your dad's like around. Is he like still in the room?
Yeah.
Your dad was like sitting there. You're like on his like internet here. It's like, hi, James. Hi to your folks. Hi to the family for me. And thank you so much for coming on. And your YouTube channel is great. I have been to your YouTube channel. There's so much there. There's lots of cool stuff. And have a good time at Comic-Con. And I'm looking forward to your villainy roles, because I think you got it in. You've been generally pretty nice. But speaking as a former villain, I'm always jazzed to see someone do that. So I'm just thrilled for you, and I'm a huge fan of the show. So say hi to everybody from Stranger Things for me. And thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. All right. That's James Ganiere, and yes, number 10. And I'm Allison Arngrim. Oh, hi, Dad. Hi, Dad's there. Hi, how you doing? And it's the Allison Arngrim Show, and I'm Allison Arngrim. Thank you.
I found my way home across the Grand Mirage. Ever since